Se acabó. Welcome, bienvenidos. This is Friday. Today is Friday. You know how I feel about Friday. Why aren't you copying the link? Okay, here we go. I'm just doing the most today, and we'll start talking about that in a second. All right. Let me make sure that this thing copied the right. Yes, it did. Uh, where am I? Here we go. Okay. Hey, Lily. How are you? All right, so first things first. Clean. Hi, Sandy. Clean canvas jar. Duh. Um, in honor of their new lunch, CXC Beauty has a new lunch today, so I'm wearing the companion piece, which is almost sold out, and I believe it's a limited offer as well. And then I have Bite lipstick in licorice, which is ironic because I hate licorice, but I love this lipstick. And this lipstick also has, and yeah, I already messed it up. It has a little vibe of another one, which I really love from Jara Cosmetics, but I ran out of it, which is why I'm not wearing it. I'm watching Trisha on TikTok live. She's a witch now, lol. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Give me a break. Give me a break. We're going to get there because that is the part that annoys me the most. But we have to get through some other stuff first. While we wait for a couple of minutes, hey Deb. While we wait for a couple of minutes to see if anybody else is going to show up, how are you all doing today? Are you cold where you're at? Are you warm? It was 50 degrees when I woke up this morning, so I ended up walking at 1 p.m. in the afternoon when it was 60. The difference was important. Hey, Molly. But and I do believe the weather is supposed to go. Hold on, let me see. Weather is going to go to. Oh, it's 67 now. Of course, because I'm not there. It's going down. Ooh. Oh. Oh crap. It's going to be 45 tomorrow when I go walking. At sunrise. Yeah. It's going to be one of those. Oh my god, it's going to be worse on Sunday. All right. So, it was 50 yesterday. That is warm. Okay, for you because you're cold, but it was 70 and 80 and then it went down to 40 and I no. But I do have to tell you guys one thing. You all know that I've been complaining about my car, right? But the one thing that aggravates me about my car is that it always happens to me. Never happens to my husband. So we're getting in the car to take my daughter to work because the way we set it up was we were going to drop her off. He was going to drop me off at the park and then he was going to run some errands and then pick me up and come home. Guess what happened when he tried to start the car? It failed. Because like I told him, if the weather is not past 60, the car is going to fail. Don't ask me why it's doing it on cold weather. I don't know. Boy, did that piss him off. It's negative 22 here, but because of the sun, it wasn't bad in here this afternoon. Although as soon as it goes away in less than half an hour, the temp is going to plummet. Yeah, that... Molly, I don't know what to tell you. Just wear as many clothes as possible. I know it's uncomfortable, but Jesus, that weather is crazy. So yes, please hit the like. Thank you, Sandy. So the thing about it is, no, it's not the battery. It's an issue. It's an issue that we already fixed. But you see, because it's an old car, you only get like 90 days warranty, and the 90 days are gone. So we can't take it to the same place where they fixed it because the 90 days are gone. And I'm not paying $800 again. So I don't know what's going to happen now. Anyhow, we have been discussing what we're going to do, but first we have to stabilize the finances in the house. And we do have the spare car, which is not in the best of conditions either, but it will make small trips like from here to the park and from here to my daughter's job and whatnot. So we have to do with that. But I can guarantee you, if he tries to use the car now, the car will work. Hi, Amy, because it's 68 degrees outside. It is what it is. So, once more, for those of you who just got here, clean canvas on the eyes, of course, Gerard, in honor of her birthday, because Jen's birthday is today. Then in honor of CXC's lunch, CXC Beauty, I have Summer's End. And then the lipstick is by Beauty in the color Licorice, because I ran out of I have a similar color on Gerard's, but I ran out of it. I know. I'm trying to remember the name because it's like, but I can't. I'm so grateful that my Kia Sorento is still running. She has 228,000 miles. My car has like over 300,000 miles. My car is from 2009. So I have to be, I have to be thankful. The car has survived a lot, but at this point it's like, hey, heathen. So let's start talking about Trisha Paytas. And before I get into the whole witchy thing and whatnot, I want to talk about, all right, I want to talk about something that everybody's talking about, because I believe everybody's wrong for what they're saying. And before anybody hits me with baloney, I actually watched the video, so I saw what she said. I didn't just get the clip where she says it. I saw the whole video, okay? So I understand why people are frustrated. Hear me out first, okay? Before I even start talking, there are 3 different things that we have to talk about in order to make this point. Sex, gender, sexual orientation, okay? Now, the definition of sex, I'm going to take it from somebody that actually knows what they're talking about. And this person explained to me that sex is when you come out of the womb, based on your anatomy or genitalia, you're determined to be male or female. All right. Now, my version of gender is what your soul knows itself to be. It is said by people that are spiritual that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience on this earth. Okay. So in my version of what gender is, and it's the easiest way I have used this to explain it to other people, and they have finally understood what I'm trying to say. You determine your gender is determined by what your soul deems you to be. In other words, you can be in cis, you can be transgender, or you can be none of the above. Okay, that's when you go non-binary, transgender, or cis, which covers male or female. All right. Then you have sexual orientation, which has nothing to do with your sex or your gender. Sexual orientation is what you're attracted to. It's either you're straight, you're gay, lesbian, whatever. You're asexual because you're not interested in anybody, or you're pansexual, bisexual, whatever the case may be. Okay? It is what it is. Exactly. Sex is genetic. Gender is a social construct. Thank you, Molly. And the thing about it is, and I'm telling you because I happen to be married to somebody that has a little bit of a difficulty between gender and sexual orientation. And I think we finally got him to the point where he gets it, but he does every once in a while, he'll slip. But the bottom line is that it's very important for you all to understand the difference between the 3 things. Okay. Now, you all seem to know more than me, so I'm going to leave it alone in that respect. I want you all to understand a couple things before I say what I'm about to say. I'm pretty sure she's trolling. At the end of the day, I have to defend the terminology they want to use with themselves. But am I going to be as strict with myself as I usually am when I call they them? No. However, even though I'm not going to be as strict with myself until this is finally sorted out, the reality is that this person was talking about fertility. And this is why I disagree with every single one of you. Not you guys, everybody complaining on social media. And Trisha proceeded to say that biologically she's female. Now, again, there is sex and there is gender. The sex that you were born with is not necessarily the gender you identify as. Therefore, this is not Trisha admitting that she's trolling you when she's saying that she's non-binary, when they saying they're non-binary. Okay? Now, my problem with everybody complaining on social media last night was that I saw a lot of people that happen to identify as non-binary trashing Trisha for what they said, knowing full well that there's a difference between sex and gender, and that what this person was saying, based on what they were talking about, which was their journey through fertility, was correct. I also saw several people who identify as either non-binary or transgender who were correcting people saying, no, you're taking this wrong. One thing has nothing to do with the other. Now, again, do I think Trisha's trolling? More than likely. Am I going to disrespect Trisha on their pronouns right now? No. Am I going to get upset with myself when I misgendered them by accident? No, I'm not. Because if you go to their bio, it used to say, I haven't seen it lately, but I know that they took it down. It used to say she, her, they, them. Right now, it's all in the air based on the comment that they made on their fertility journey. I understand that we all like to pick on Trisha. I understand that we have legitimate reasons to pick on Trisha. I also understand why people are upset because they defended their right to be, for their pronouns to be used the way they wanted. And there have been people that have gotten into real big fights online, which again, I don't know why you would defend somebody that wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire, but you have people that have defended this person to no end, only to have this particular clip. Because what bothers me is that people put the little clip where Trisha says genetically or I can't remember if they said genetically or biologically, I'm cis female. They took that clip and the average people did not go and see the video, so they don't know what they were talking about. And that's not fair. I'm sorry, but that's not fair. As much as I don't care about this person, and I think this person has done a lot of horrible things, that's not the hill to die on. Be careful, babe. Yes, Sandy, I'm talking to you. There are people who believe that someone who identifies as male but is genetically, biologically female and gets pregnant, that is a man having a baby. I don't agree with that. That is the one time that I'll allow the transgender thing. And I'm going to tell you why. Normally, if I meet somebody and they are transgender female, I consider them female. I don't look at the transgender part because to me, they're a female. Same if it's a male. However, if you decided to get pregnant because you have not gone through the full surgical transformation or whatever you want to call it, I don't think it's fair to call you a male because you're not a male. You're a transgender male who has not completely transitioned for whatever reason. I don't care if you ever transition or not. I know a couple of people who have not transitioned medically, biologically, or whatever you want to call it, but they have transitioned in every other way. They have done the legal paperwork. They have changed everything about themselves, and they have every right to do whatever. Look, I'm not going to get involved into how they became what they are and how they feel about who they are, because in all reality, it's not my place to say. What I am going to say is that the only people that I have an issue with when it comes to the issue of being transgender are people who were female, transgender to male, I know that's not how you say it, but that's the easiest way for me to say it. And are now pregnant. I'm sorry, I do have an issue with that one. I do. Not with them getting pregnant. I don't care if they get pregnant. I mean, calling that person a male, period. No, that's a transgender male. And at that point, it's very easy to understand why they're pregnant, because they have the plumbing, for lack of a better word. Okay. I was just pointing that out as part of the backlash against Trisha. I would imagine they are some of the same people. Yeah, probably. But you know what's funny? People that complain about that same thing that you and I are not happy with probably are defending Trisha right now and their pronouns, because it is what it is. So now Sandy brought out something which was the part that really ticked me off. And yes, I'm drinking a soda, leave me alone. And it's the only thing that has taken my throat pain out. Sorry, not sorry. This used to be, by the way, just so you all know, that's the original purpose of Coke and Pepsi, was for throat pain. And it does work for it. Historically, it's always worked for me anyway. Anyhow, that doesn't mean I'm going back to soda. I just had it today. It tastes like crap because I haven't been drinking it for a while, so it tastes like shit. But it is taking care of my throat. As long as you don't take up the cancer sticks again, you can do whatever you want. By the way, now that you say that, ladies and gentlemen, it is now 5 months and 14 days since I quit smoking. I am so freaking proud of myself. It's not even funny, because at this point, I don't want a cigarette. I have had my moments when I say, damn, I could use a cigarette right now. But actually, the action of actually going to the store and getting a cigarette, no, I've had no interest. Pepsi was originally a stomach med. Well, I was sold back home as it was cough medicine. The Coke was a cough medicine. So I don't know. The one that it's always been told to me, and it works wonders for obvious reasons, for stomach, is ginger ale. Thank you, Molly. Thank you, Sandy. Sandy, stop writing when you're freaking driving. Anyway, let's talk about what Sandy brought up, which is the fact that this young lady decided, oh, Molly, thank you. It says, ambitious. Ambitious, meaning striving to be more of a bitch than the average bitch. I thought you all would like this shirt. I love this shirt. So anyway, going back to, it's really funny because it looks like, why do I look? I don't have anything in my mouth. Why does it look like whatever? I'm not even going to bother with it. Thank you for the hearts, ladies. Anyway, let's talk about the whole witch thing. Now, I don't know how much you know about this, so I am going to be blunt, brutally honest, and as forthcoming as I possibly can. Yes, I'm holding on to my elephant for this one. In case y'all didn't know, I have not 150,000% broken up with Catholic Church. I still say, oh God, every once in a while. I still do pray to God every once in a while. I still have a couple of straggling thoughts about the church from time to time. But I haven't been an active member of a Catholic church in years, decades, to be honest with you. And I have always been called to the one culture that was living on my island before the Spaniards came and brought the Africans, and that would be the Taino culture. Now, for those of you who don't know, Taino culture has its, thank you, Amy. Don't you all start trying to make me cry. The Taino culture has its own religious beliefs. I'm not going to get into that now because I'm learning all this stuff as I go. But there's always been an interesting dynamic between myself and my daughter, because my daughter never believed in the Catholic Church. My daughter always believed in other things, and she found her way through paganism a few years back. And I don't know what it was. I honestly don't know what it was, but about a year ago, I want to say it was more than a year and a half ago, we started talking, and she found out that I've always been interested in paganism, and so we started studying. I am not. Where's that shirt from? I honestly don't remember where I got it. I want to say Charlotte Russe, but I'm not entirely sure. But if I find out, I'll let you know, because my daughter usually does. I have been studying paganism now for about a year and a half. I haven't been doing it as consistently as I would like to, but because of something that we're going to talk about a little later on if we have the time, I have been very interested in paganism. If you look at the bookshelf that is right in front of me, I have a bunch of books on paganism. And bottom line is that it actually dovetails with the Taino culture, because we do have something that is kind of like, I hate the word occult, because to me that's not a cult, but it is what it is, and that's the word that we use. Now, having said that, have I bought a bunch of stuff from Amazon and taken pictures and whatnot? No. I have an altar, which I'm staring at right now, which ironically has a picture. Listen how crazy this is. I have a portrait that I bought. I don't know if it was Michael's or it was one of those stores where you buy stuff cheaply, of a Day of the Dead, a wife and a husband, because they reminded me of my husband and myself. Then you look to the side and there's an altar, and I have a Mexican god figurine that my dad brought from a trip to Mexico, and I have a bunch of crystals and candles and all kinds of things. And usually, not today, but usually when I come live, I have uh, some stuff on. Um, I do believe in protection. I do have protection around the computer and whatnot, and around the house. We do certain rituals and whatnot. Anyway, the bottom line is that we're studying this, right? I'm interested in other religions myself. Correct. That's what the bottom line is to me. And here's the thing. The idea that she has oh, I got you. Thank you. Now I feel better about you adding to the conversation. Thank you for telling me that, cuz now I feel a lot better. I thought you were either in traffic or hoping that you were doing that. So the thing about it is this. I have a problem not just with Trisha claiming to be a Wiccan now. I am not a Wiccan. Wiccan is one of many forms of paganism, and I don't get involved with that. But it gets into the conversation about, there's two conversations to be had here. One is cultural appropriation versus religious appropriation, and the other one is the difference between appropriation and appreciation. So, in order for me not to make an ass of myself, what we're going to do is we're going to see if there is a difference. Basically, the way I understand it, cultural is everything and religious is one aspect, but we're going to do it because I'm going to do the search now. So I wrote on Google religious appropriation, and the first thing that came out was cultural appropriation, ironically. And it says cultural appropriation can include exploitation of another culture's religious and cultural traditions. Okay. To me, they're separate. Let me put it that way. Dance steps, fashion, symbols, language, and music. Okay. What are examples of cultural appropriation today? Intellectual property, artifacts, dance, clothing and fashion, language, music, food, religious symbols. Again, they always put religious as one of a certain group of cultural appropriation, so I guess I was not that far. Now, here's the issue with religious appropriation. Hi, MJ. Here's the issue with religious appropriation, and why I think people have like a little bit of problem with it, which goes into appreciation versus appropriation. But let's take one thing at a time, okay? When you're talking about religious appropriation, you have to take into consideration that certain religions are always trying to steal people from one religion to the other. And what I mean by that is every freaking religion that has ever said, well, only my way you are going to find God. Okay? Religions have always encouraged people to come to theirs, not to leave, but to come to theirs, which causes people to take advantage of that situation to claim that they're not religious, they're not doing any type of appropriation because you're supposed to experiment. Okay, in fact, that's the excuse that Trish is using. Now, in terms of cultural appropriation, like the definition says, it could be anything. It could be dance, it could be uh, artifacts, it could be anything. It could be their culture. For example, the easiest example I can give you is the clothing options of certain people. Okay. When you go with appreciation and appropriation, then we go into the fact that appreciation is when you want to honor somebody. Like, for example, if somebody comes to your house, you decide they're from a particular country, so you want to have everything like in their country, so to welcome them. Some people might find that insulting, but I've always said to people, you have to look at the intent behind the action. Okay. When you go on a cruise ship, 9 times out of 10, if you go on a cruise ship in the islands, you're going to land in an island where they do the cornrows. And that's how those people make a living. So for you to be criticizing people that go and get their hair cornrowed, you're taking money directly out of the mouth of those people. So then you have to decide which side you're on that battle. I don't have a side on that battle because I know for a fact that cornrows in hair like mine is basically me saying goodbye to my hair. But not everybody feels that way. Okay. Now, having said that, we've all seen Trisha go through first claiming to be Catholic, which I'm assuming that they are because of their parents. Buddhism, Jewish, and now pagan. And I have a problem with all of them, not just pagan, okay? I have a problem with all of them because, for example, I remember a few years ago, they kept doing videos about I love Jesus, but their entire behavior was contrary to somebody who considers himself a Christian. Now, for one thing, renting a church and going in a dress that is better for a triple X movie than a church event, yeah, I have a problem with that because I was raised in church and you dress up for the church. You don't have to dress up in terms of, well, all you have is t-shirts and pants. You just have to make sure that you're like covered. My opinion, I have a right to have one. In terms of the whole Jewish thing, I understand that because of their marriage, they might have considered going Jewish. I can understand that. But what you're not going to do is sit there and talk about how you have a protection spell and you're casting a spell against people that hate you, blah, blah, blah. Because first of all, half the people that are criticizing you are not hating on you. They're criticizing you legitimately for reasons. And second of all, you need consent when you're casting spells. Now, does that mean that if somebody wishes me harm and I wish it to go back on them, it's not going to hurt them or anything? Here's the thing. It's the same when you're Catholic or Christian or whatever. We've all done it, whether it's prayer, it's casting a spell, whatever it is, that you say, God bless me and God fight my battles, no enemy before me, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? When you're telling God to please return it to sender, you're basically casting a spell. The reason why it would fail in Trisha's case is because, again, she's claiming that people are hating on her, but they're not. So you're not really returning anything to sender. People who are telling the truth are going to continue to tell the truth. And making yourself the victim is not the way to go. It isn't. Bottom line, it isn't. And I was upset when she was pretending to be, was it a Hare Krishna that she was pretending to be? I believe she was pretending to be a Hare Krishna at one point. It upset me when she claimed to be Buddhist. It upset me when she claimed to be Jewish, and now it upsets me for her to claim, for them to claim to be pagan. This is not a fast food restaurant where you pick from the menu and every week you change your course, okay? You buying crystals does not make you a pagan at all. It doesn't. I'm sorry to tell you. I know a lot of people that have owned crystals all their life because they're fascinated with gemology and the other, I forgot the name of the study of rocks. So no, that doesn't make you pagan. The fact that you think that you can put certain stones or crystals in sunlight, when we all know, even people that have only been doing this for a very short time, that if you put that particular stone in sunlight, you're going to mess it up. Yeah, babe. You can't wash every single stone or crystal in water either. There's a lot of things that this person is saying that you can tell that they're not really studying anything. They're just saying whatever sounds good. If you saw Peter Mohn's video a couple days back, he actually showed where in Amazon you can find all the stuff that they showed. Trisha showed. She did say she was, I'm sorry, they said they were a chicken nugget. Correct. There has been such, look, we all know Trisha's a troll. We absolutely all know that Trisha's a troll. I personally don't want to give that person more air than they need to. I will watch Peter Mohn talking about them because I am guaranteeing that just like people like to talk about Chantal and all these other channels that devote their life to certain particular creators, I can guarantee you Peter is getting a lot of views out of talking about Trisha. There's a lot of anger, resentment, frustration with Trisha, just like there's a lot with Chantal, there's a lot with Amber Lynn, there's a lot with Eugenia Cooney and all the other people. I am very aware of that. But what I want you guys to take out from this situation is two things. Number one, since we don't know if they're really trolling or not, let's respect their pronouns for the time being. Let's not just assume that because they were talking about fertility and talking about their sex at birth, that this is admitting that they are not non-binary. That doesn't prove anything. And I realize that I have said this before for other people, but for our sake, let's act like we don't know any of this and let's just continue to use the pronouns. And if you say she at some point, again, they did say she, her, they, them. Actually, let me go and check to see if they have changed that recently. Hold on. Since I'm already here, I can't remember what their account is. So let me go look. Hold on. I'm going to go to the backup account because I can't be bothered. CEO Sad Boy, Wifey, Hare Krishna devotee. I guess the backup account. Okay, guess what? The backup account proves my point. Says it right there. She, her, they, them. Obviously, considering that it says wifey, they have updated it since being, you know what I mean? I forgot what their, oh God, what's the name? Oh, here, no, that's not it. I'm trying to find the real account, but I don't see it here. Let me see if I go to the backup account. If it gives me the regular account. No, it doesn't. Hold on. That is a pretty dress. I will give them what they deserve. That is a pretty dress. And this is a gorgeous picture. I love pictures like this, but I just don't understand the whole mentality of whatever they think they're doing. Really? She wasn't Who Wants to Be a Superhero? Anyway. I found the account yesterday. I don't see why I can't find it now, but let me try if I separate the Trisha from the Paytas, if it brings it up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Wait. No, it's not showing it to me, so I can't find it. Let me try Twitter. I don't think I'm blocked on Twitter, so let me try Twitter. I mean, I think I proved my point, but whatever. This is OnlyFans, so this doesn't help me. What is this? Hold on. Oh, this is the OnlyFans. I'm trying to see if the OnlyFans says anything, but it doesn't. It doesn't. And I know they have a different account, but yeah. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna try the TikTok. Maybe Trisha like fish. Thank you. That's the one I was trying to remember. Trisha like fish. Well, maybe if I had the ad first, I could do that and it would pull it up. What do you think? Did she block me? It's not coming up. It's not letting me get it, so I guess I'm blocked. Hi, Mink. Oh, she's live on TikTok, so I'm gonna try not. Welcome to TikTok. Shut up. Sorry. Trish like fish. Here we go. I am not going to watch her, but I do want to go to the account. Okay. I rest my case. It says they, she, her, they, them. I am not going to go through pins and needles for this person anymore because again, I think I made my point. Bottom line is this: if you say she, her, you're fine. If you say they, them, you're fine. If they said at some point that they prefer they, them, I don't watch them, so I don't care. I'm going to go by what's written. And what's written says she, her, they, them. I'm not a fan like that. Never have been, never will be. Second thing I will say is this. There is a difference between appreciation and appropriation. There is a difference between you searching for something because your soul is asking you for something and you trolling people based on the religion that you want to clown this week. It is what it is. I don't really think it's respect. We have to remember, I find it absolutely mind-blowing how this person has been trolling the airwaves for as long as they've been on YouTube, but now they have a problem with people covering them when they didn't have a problem with people covering them before. Do you know why that is? Because back then they were becoming more and more popular because all the drama channels were talking about them. Now they don't want people to talk about them. But you know what? I've been married long enough to give you a piece of advice. If anybody ever shows this to Trish Paytas, which I doubt, okay? But here's the thing. You have been clowning the planet the whole time talking about how much you wanted to be married, how much you wanted a wedding and getting married and having a husband and all this other stuff. No, ma'am. What you wanted was the wedding. And the proof of it is that you've had 2, 3 weddings, okay? You were not thinking about being a wife. At no point in your life were you thinking about being a wife. How do I know? Because a person that gets married doesn't stop working necessarily, doesn't have the opportunity to go on a honeymoon necessarily. A lot of people I know have not been able to go on the honeymoon when they get married. That's not an issue for me. What's an issue for me is that you got married and you are posting more now than before you got married. You are going insane, putting people through hell because they have your content on their videos, which is why I don't put her content on my videos. The bottom line is this: you're not acting like somebody that's happy to be married. And no, I'm not going to get into, well, they already live together, so what difference does it make? It does make a difference. Take a couple days and have a honeymoon like normal people do. You can definitely afford it. Do I think this is the time? No, we're in the panini, but if it is what it is. Making 10, 12 live streams in a day after the wedding makes no sense. Unless you're already bored of being with the man of your dreams. Or if you, in your head, thought that being married was different than living with somebody. Because, yes, some people think that there is a difference. Technically, there is no difference except for the fact that you have rights that you didn't have before. That's about it. The day-to-day of having a person that you live with, that you have to listen to them snore and watch them freaking leave the toilet seat up and whatever. Yeah, that happens. That's something that happens when you're living with somebody. That doesn't have anything to do with anything. So it is what it is. I'm so tired of this. I swear to God. Why can't we start paying attention to people that are cool and stop giving attention to these morons? You know, it's really funny because somebody this morning asked that question on Twitter. And I said, because we need to hold people accountable. But the only thing we do when we hold people accountable is that we end up giving them more fame and more glory. I don't think that system works, to be honest with you. No one leaves the toilet seat up in my house. I train people. So do I. But, you know, we've been together for 30 years and he has a daughter. So it would kind of behoove him not to leave the toilet seat up. Plus, when I was pregnant with said daughter, he accidentally left the toilet seat up. He left the toilet seat up one time and I was in a hurry because hello, pregnancy. So I jumped in the bath. I ran to the bathroom, jumped, sat on the seat, and then it hit me that there was no toilet seat and my bum was very close to the water. And because of the configuration of the toilet in question, I was in the fact that I had a humongous belly, I was stuck. I've said this story before. This should not surprise any of you. And then, of course, because I'm so tall, my feet were dangling. So I couldn't use my feet to get. Needless to say, after that, he never forgot. My brother-in-law has refused to learn despite being the only male in the house besides the cat. He and my sister have 3 daughters. Oh my God. See, that's when I make him his own bathroom and just tell him, you can use that bathroom. That's it. As the dogs would end up dropping toys in there if the lid was up. Here's the thing. I was taught a very long time that you cover the toilet, the whole thing, before you flush, because if not, you're going to have poop particles all over your bathroom. So we always flush the toilet with the toilet seat with the whole thing down. And that's been for years. So we don't, because I don't want to have poop in my toothbrush. So it is what it is. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it is what it is. And so that's why. But, you know, if I had a situation where a man would not listen to reason, I would just give him a bathroom and, use the other bathroom with my daughter. That would be what we would do. But he would also have to clean that bathroom because I'm not going in there. It is what it is. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to go now. I'm going to make this short today. I have to say something before I go. This week has been a lot of fun and a lot of struggle for many reasons. If you are subscribed to the other channel, you will find out probably on Monday or Tuesday why I'm saying that. There's a video coming out for that channel that I have basically, it's a good video in terms of the storyline. And what I want to do before I do anything else is thank you guys. The ones that are here right now, the ones that come here every once in a while, the ones that watch and don't say anything, the ones that watch the replays, because I know watching a replay sometimes is boring because it's different because you don't have the interaction. I want to thank all of you for not giving up on me, because we all know I have given, don't start. We all know that I have given up on myself more times than I care to count. And the last 14 days, which happened to be the first 14 days of 2022, have been a very interesting life lesson for me. It was hard to celebrate the Christmas and New Year's because it was the first Christmas and the first New Year's as an orphan. It was a bit of a struggle because my dad's birthday was always December 30th and my mom's is January 19th. And I've had my moments where I'm really happy and then I'm really sad. But being able to sit down and make a video for you guys, that, considering that I have no audience left because I've basically killed my channel, and that video's, I think it got 36 views. I wasn't expecting to get 10. And I haven't even watched it myself yet. I watched it when I did it, but I haven't watched it on the channel. I try not to watch my own videos, which is stupid because everybody else watched their own videos. But I am going to watch it today. But I did make that video with a vision in mind. The only words I wanted for you guys to hear were the voice of the person that is actually affected by COVID, which is why it was all no sound except for that. I had to do a little adjustment for somebody that I really care about, and I did do an adjustment for that person. That's something that we're working on to figure out. Oh, I mean, so you know how I feel about January. And the reality is that when I was thinking that I was not going to do this anymore and that I didn't want to do this anymore, because there was a point where I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to sit and read books and mind my damn business. Y'all still stuck with me through everything that I've been through. And that doesn't go unnoticed. And I know I don't always thank you guys for sticking with me and for keeping me in your prayers and sending me messages and sending me little notes and whatnot. But I do appreciate it more than you'll ever know. So this week was really cool. I think I worked 15 hours this week in terms of sitting on the chair, which is the benchmark is this week is 15 hours. I have to build it to 40. But just like the walks didn't start at 3 to 5 miles, I can't expect to start working 40-hour weeks yet. I can't wait to be able to do it because I want content every week on every channel. But yes, you all are very sticky and I appreciate that. And y'all are trying to make me cry. You're not going to get me to cry, so stop it. But I do want to thank you. I know I'm not the best at talking about this stuff, but I do really appreciate it. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for coming to every live stream. And I guess the next one is Tuesday at 11. I am going to start giving them a theme of some sort. And at some point, either next week or the week after that, we're going to do a food one because I can't wait to start talking about food again. So, yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And thank you so much for being here. Love you. Bye.